Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my new account playthrough in Gems of War, or as I recently have called it, Souls of War. Uh, so this is episode 12, and we're going to be going through another Kingdom quest line, but really quick here, I just wanted to show you guys Dragon Armor. I want to repeat this as much as possible because for early players, this is really, really important. You want to save up your gems to 500 and come in here to your armor bonus section, and you want to purchase this dragon armor for 500 gems and have it equipped because it will give you 100% bonus to gold, it'll give you 50% bonus to souls, and 50% bonus to XP. XP is very important for leveling your character up faster. The faster your character levels up, the more points you can put into different masteries, which means you can get certain weapons quicker. Weapons like Mountain Crusher is really good, which is your brown mastery. You have Bronze Lock Pistol, which is your blue and brown mastery. And then you have Mang, which is your red and brown. And you also have Guard's Wall, I think is what it's called. It's a good defensive weapon. That is just your red mastery. So there's some good weapons to get in leveling up quicker. It's very important for getting those. So that's why that's also important, not just souls and gold. So the XP is also important there. And you can always check your masteries in here and see where their current levels are and what your guild is going to boost some of those masteries. So that's also important. Here you can see it gives you a higher chance for a mana surge. And that'll give you extra mana when you get those 3 or 4 matches. But, yeah, you definitely want to join a guild as soon as possible because they will give you, help you out, get a lot of resources. So let's go through and let's do this next quest line, Khetar. The Khetar quest line, we need to spend 2,750 gold here to unlock it. Every kingdom that you do unlock will give you a new banner, and as you can see here, the banner is purple and blue. So now we have another choice of what banners to select, which really does help out for certain teams to have the right banners. Like right here, I'm using 1 blue and 1 red so that I can fill up Valkyrie and I can fill up whatever's using blue. So your banners do matter with what you're putting your team together with. And just really quickly, I'm still going to go through the quest line with this team here that I used last episode because it worked pretty good, and I'm gaining souls every time I use Valkyrie, and I am gaining souls with this white troop. So let's get right into it here. Nice little 4-match of blue right from the beginning. That's always nice. And the AI missed a 4-match down here, which is kind of rare. We'll cast Behemoth, and let's see here. What can we do? We can convert green to blue and fill that troop up. And we're just going to skip through like a lot of the storyline. I know, like if you want to read through that, if it's your very first time playing this game, then, you might want to read through the storyline. But, I've already played this game from the beginning once before, so I don't really want to read through all the story. Plus, it makes the videos so much longer. And, yeah. I don't want to make each one of these episode videos like 2 hours long. I want to try to keep them in about 1 hour maximum. So, wow, there really isn't much here to convert from blue, is there? I can't even get a 3-match of blue. Well, I can right here with red, but wow, that's kind of frustrating. At least we got a skull match up there. Now we got some blue over there. That's nice. That's nice. He used a white to kill a white. That's cannibalism, buddy. That is cannibalism. Now I have to kill you. You can't just kill your own type of troop like you had. You had Behemoth. You had my hero class, and you had this Valkyrie here, and you chose to kill your own kind. There. Justice has been served. Anyway. That was kind of weird though, how it just I could have chosen any other troop and it just chose the troop that was exactly like it. Not saying that was intended, but it was kind of weird. Okay, what is this guy even doing? Creating 7 skulls, okay. I was like, what the heck? He didn't even connect the skull. So you're gonna create skulls, but you won't even connect them? What kind of insanity is that? Nice. Yeah, and as I said, like in the previous episode with this soul team, whenever you have the chance, use your Valkyrie and your white, because gaining those extra souls is really important early on in the game, and you do want as many souls as possible. And one of the things here too, I'll just mention real quick about Behemoth, is that if we did have that final trait unlocked, gain 10 life on 4 or 5 gem matches, it would be really good with Valkyrie, because you're going to be transforming. Okay, just a second here. These whites have it out for other whites. This is a full-on war now. Do you see that? This white right here just killed the other white. It doesn't say that it has to choose the last enemy. It just chose the white again. That's 2 in a row. Okay, so it's all out war on these whites now, man. We're gonna. There's no prisoners are being taken here. Alright, back to what I was saying here. With the Valkyrie, because we can choose, a lot of times we're going to be getting our 4 or 5 gem matches, right? So if you do have Behemoth unlocked, all the traits, you're going to get that 10 extra life all the time. So, very, very good. But we might take a look later at what kind of traits we need for Behemoth. Because at some point I might actually try to farm for those just to get that, because right now it doesn't have any defense sitting in that top spot. It gets hit with a lot of skulls, so that would give it some more defensive capabilities. Yeah, we gotta watch that white right here, this guy, because he could attack my my white. We know what their plan is now. Look at this. Okay, the white is already full. Watch. Let's see if he actually attacks my white. That's 3 times in a row. That is bizarre. Maybe it's because that my white has the lowest amount of health. That's probably what it is when I think about it logically. But right now, I just wanna kill him, because he obviously has a thing for cannibalism. Keeps stealing life. on my white every single time. Spider Queen. I don't like fighting against that troop either because it webs and it drains mana, which those are two negative status effects that are not good to have on you. Nice skull match. Let's see. Blue and nothing. Wow, that sucks. But we did that, so he gave us a skull match. Well, we got a 4 match of red here with blue. But we do have the skull match first. Hey, now we got purple. Boom. Got rid of that white before he could eat mine. Alright. Yeah, the nice thing about the Valkyrie too is it's only a 10 mana cost, so it's pretty quick to get powered up. And it has so much mana generating potential. Like, look at that. I mean, Valkyrie got full again, plus Behemoth got full. Like, that's really, really great. I'm really liking the Behemoth Valkyrie combination. You know, the other great mana generator or converter like Valkyrie that I use a lot is Apothecary. So Apothecary is really great because it's going to convert gems just like Valkyrie, but it does it for brown mana. And we could use that with Behemoth as well because it uses brown. But I use it mostly with... I use it mostly with weapons like Mountain Crusher and Mang. So I'm sure I'll put together a team with that once I get Mang. And you guys will be able to see how that works. I just can't say no to a skull match. And Behemoth got full again. Probably could have used white or Valkyrie there and gained some more souls, but oh well. Yeah, another good soul troop early on is Banshee. Right here on the enemy team. This is another one. I have this one, but I haven't leveled it up yet, but Banshee is pretty good as well. It will deal damage to an enemy, and it transforms blue gems to red. And then it will gain souls. So this is another, it converts, it's a converter, but you can't choose which gems to convert, so it's a little bit less useful as a converter than Valkyrie, but it's still one of those troops that you probably should level up early on, and if you have weapons or troops that are strong with the red mana color, then this would be a good troop to have in there, because it's going to convert blue to red. So that's a good one to go with. I do like my Behemoth Valkyrie combination though. It's really nice. Yeah, we can get some extra souls here with that troop before we finish everything off. Level 87. And we have Brown Mastery. We're getting pretty close to Ming. I think I'm at 22 masteries now for red and for brown. I'm pretty sure I need 23, so we're real close to getting Ming. And that's exciting because I do want to try to do some pet battles, and I want to participate in some of the events a little bit more as well. And Ming is probably going to be my go-to weapon for that. Let's see, we got one yellow there. That's it. Well, we'll just take brown. Maybe if we can get Behemoth up, we can. Well, looks like we're going to have to convert yellow to blue here. It's the only option that I have. There's enough red on the board where Valkyrie could get full again. Yeah, we had a mech gnome there. That has the potential to give us ingots. And we need more legendary ingots. So I hope it gives me those. But it could give me it could give me just like rare, which is like don't really need those, but I'm just gonna transform anything here because I want more souls. Then we'll use our white, max out them souls. Yay! We got 9 legendary ingots. Yes, that is so useful. I still need a few legendary ingots to upgrade Mountain Crusher so I can get that Dust Storm every turn. Also, we need to upgrade our Bronze Lock pistol because at the very end of all of its upgrades, you gain 10 gold every time you cast it, and how it destroys gems according to how much gold you have. So that is really important. The other way that you can get ingots is through your challenges on your kingdoms and in the underworld. The underworld is probably the most reliable or the best way to get ingots. But, you know, it's going to take us a little while to get down to the underworld because we have to unlock pretty much all the kingdoms. Because the last kingdom is the Sin of Mirage, I believe. And that kingdom is the one that we need to unlock in order to get to the underworld. So that's what we're shooting for. But that's going to be like probably episode 30 something. Because there's over 30. Ah, my white died from Deathmark. Now, someone in the comments section the other day was saying that Deathmark is really one of the weakest mechanics in the game, or most useless mechanics in the game. And I agree, like, Deathmark, I never really use it on other enemies. But just like you saw right there, like, the Deathmark killed my white. Yeah, okay, so there are a lot of immunities, I understand that. But early game, for example, early game, you don't have a lot of your traits unlocked on your troops. So even if you own a troop, like let's say Behemoth here, immune to all status effects, and that might include Deathmark. So, but I don't have that unlocked, and it costs a lot of it costs arcane trait stones and all that stuff to unlock all of these impervious traits and all that. So, I still think Deathmark is pretty dangerous, especially early game when you don't have a lot of those traits unlocked. I don't know, that's my opinion. Because as you saw, my white died from it. I mean, I've had my hero class die from it, even though, like right here, my Titan class, if I get all the way to 100, I get Fortitude, which means that this class will be immune to Deathmark. But guess what? You know how long it takes to get to level 100? It takes a long time, and you have to use just that class the entire time to get it to 100. And so I don't know. I'm still of the opinion that Deathmark is useful, especially early game. or at least it's dangerous. Even if you don't use it on other enemies much, it's still dangerous early game. Let's see here. What can I convert? Purple works. Let's see. Skull match. Too much mana in this enemy's favor, I tell ya. Too much. We get rid of the mana drainer. That's... okay. Okay, so this is another mana generating troop. Transform all yellow gems to a chosen color. Dark Maiden. You can get this one early on in the Zalkari quest line by just upgrading your kingdom with gold. You get this one for just, you know, like a few thousand. I think it's 10,000 gold within that range, and you can get a copy of this maybe. So that's another good mana generator, but it doesn't give you souls, and so that's why I'm focusing in on Valkyrie and white early on here. Valkyrie being the mana converter. Hey, we got an arcane trait stone. That's always good. But because you need those souls, man, you need them. You need a lot of them early game, and you might as well put something like Valkyrie into your team and use it all the time early game, for PvP battles, for quests, for pretty much everything, because, you know, the more souls, the better. Yeah. Probably should have went for yellow there, but that's okay. Hey, we got another white. This is this another episode of the Cannibalist War? Well, we're not going to find out because we took care of that threat immediately. Yeah, those whites, for whatever reason, they keep attacking the white that I have, and I'm pretty convinced at this point that it's because my white has the lowest health, and that's why they keep attacking it. But it's still really weird that the white is just it's just attacking its own kind. I don't know, it's so weird. Oh, yeah, of course. You're gonna transform all the blue I created into your red. Yep. The white killing the white. It's just, man. Really bizarre. It's funny, though. Yeah, those whites are getting full really quick, and then they generate all that mana, but they're no match for my behemoth. Yeah, the other thing too, you know, that you can get from participating in the events is if you get to a certain stage in a lot of them, you get a major orb of growth. Which, if you're a high-level account already, orbs of growth are really horrible to get. They don't really have much value other than contributing and crafting that really powerful boss mythic troop. But other than that, they're pretty useless once you get past like level, like probably around 12, 1300. And maybe even sooner than that. Depends on how much soul farming you've done, but early game like this, when you're still in the early 100 levels, those orbs of growth are going to be really useful for you. And I do recommend using them on some of your troops, like legendaries or, you know, troops that are going to cost you a lot of souls. Legendaries, or if you get lucky and you get a mythic troop this early on, you're going to want to use a growth orb if you do have it, because that'll save you the amount of souls that it costs to upgrade it. Alright, so another topic I can talk about real quick while I'm doing this is underworld troops. So underworld troops can be really good because you can focus in on getting them. Unlike so the Soul Forge is like the only really for sure way that you can actually get a legendary or mythic that you want. Except for the underworld, because the underworld, even though it's not crafting, it is more specific. So you have shards down there. Excuse me. You have shards that you get for doing your underworld battles, and you can use those shards to try to get legendaries for those specific underworld factions. And some of the troops are really good down there, so I'm going to try to get some of those troops as soon as I can. And obviously I'll go over that in more detail once we get that far. But just in this video, so I have something here that I can talk about while I'm finishing this quest line, I can talk a little bit about what I think are probably some of the best troops that we can go for in the underworld. And I think, you know, I mean, most people already know what probably the #1 troop is, I'm going to say, which is Gobtroffel. Gobtroffel is a legendary goblin troop that you can get in the underworld, and it is amazing because even though it has a high mana cost of 17, it will generate a lot of mana. I think it's up to 16 combined of brown and green mana. Now, it does take green mana, so it has that looping potential, and that's really good. Now, on top of that, it creates brown, so if you combine it with something that's brown, another troop or a weapon, like, for example, Mountain Crusher, which is a mana generating weapon, but that also will allow you to explode the board. And if you have a Mountain Crusher with a couple of Gobtroffels and maybe some other mana converter in there, it's going to be pretty deadly. So we're gonna try to get that troop early on, obviously. But there are some other troops in there that are pretty good as well, and some of the other kingdoms down there. One of the other ones, which is a legendary troop as well, is Queen Miraji. And Queen Miraji, or Queen Mirage, I forget exactly how it, if it's one way or the other, but that queen is really good. It will cause all green gems to be converted into Doom Skulls, and if you fully trade it, it will allow all elementals to start with 50% mana. And guess what? The Gobtroffel troops are considered an elemental as well as a goblin troop. The other thing I think I probably forgot to mention with the goblin troops there, the Gobtroffels, is that not only do they generate mana, but they're doing damage to all enemies, and they gain an extra turn. And they will always gain an extra turn unless they're frozen. So those are going to be some of the legendaries we're going to go after first. There are a few other cards down there of note, some legendary, some not. Some of them being troops like Luna, which is another legendary troop, and it does damage to all enemies, plus it will inflict status effects, either positive on you or negative on the enemy. So that's a really good troop as well to try to get. Got a new weapon there for purple mastery. But there are some other powerful troops down there too. Like there's Gargoyle, which does splash damage boosted by all of your troops' attack damage. So a team can be made with that. And Luther is an early troop that you're going to get. One of the first troops you're going to get, which increases the attack damage of all of your allies. And that troop generally goes pretty well with Gargoyle. Let's see, can we convert anything here? I got red, basically. Well, in this scenario, even if I can't get an extra turn, if I get enough blue mana to get Behemoth full, at least then I can do damage plus generate, you know, a little bit more mana there. So that's kind of my strategy, is to just get Behemoth full, and then we can worry about the rest here. And sometimes you have mana, you can just get Valkyrie full again, which is nice. I was wondering if that was going to happen. He got enough Skull Cascades. Ouch. I might actually lose this one. Yeah, what the heck. He's got these jumble troops, which is really switching the board around so much that he's getting skull matches. That's what's going on. And somehow he's got life. What the hell's going on with that? Recover 1 life at each turn. Okay, is the other troop doing that too? No, but that's still weird. Alright, we'll try to get... we're going to have to redo that battle. This is like one of the first times we have to redo a battle. Fun. I underestimated the power of those troops that are jumbling the board. I think he was getting a lot of lucky skull matches is what was going on there. And I'm not getting as... See, like, he jumbles the board and then he gets all these extra skull matches. Which then my Behemoth dies, and that's like one of my main damage dealers, and I didn't even use it yet. So that's really the problem with what's going on here. We might have to do this even another time. Stop jumbling the board. Where should I... Well, blue for that. Get rid of him. That's 1 down. This thing keeps generating, yeah, you didn't take that skull match. There we go. Keeps regenerating 1 health every single turn. Okay. I don't have any colors I need. There we go. Skull match. Finally. Didn't realize those troops were that dangerous. Apparently, Jumble the Board is a good way to get skull matches. What do we have here? We got that. Well, I guess I could take that, but... Well, we got a 4-match blue with the brown. Let's do that. And we can cast it. Oh no, I just realized we got 2 whites. I gotta protect my white from that. Alright, so let's go ahead and cast our white so we can get a little bit more life there so it doesn't die immediately, because I know those whites are going to target it because they're evil cannibalists. Hey, it didn't target it. Boom, there we go. You would think there would be some kind of 4-match there with all that yellow and blue, but... Alright, what was I talking about before I got distracted by those, Jumble the Board troops? Oh yeah, the, Underworld. Okay, yeah, we're getting pretty close to our final battles, too, for this quest line. And then we can unlock the class. And, yeah. Alright, yeah, so Underworld troops, probably, King Gobtraffle is really good, and Queen Miraji is good. And then... one of the newer troops they just added to the Underworld, Queen Beatrix, is really good. Trying to think of a few others. Gargoyle, I already mentioned him. Silent Sentinel is pretty good for a defensive troop, but it works even better if you can trade it. Yeah. I know there's some other troops in the Underworld that are pretty good. I'm just trying to think here. Other than, I mean, the King Gobtraffle troop is like the king troop, man. That thing is powerful, used all the time. Guess the only 4-match I have there is the yellow. Oh no, we're up against the Jumble the Board troops again. What are these things called anyway? War Sphinx. I'm not a fan of playing against War Sphinx. Not at all. jumble the board, and he missed out on this skull match, but jumbling the board apparently gives you lots of skull matches, or opportunities for it. So here's another one that popped up. Surprised he didn't take it. Yeah, we got rid of all those guys. Nice. Got 63 souls out of it, too. Yeah, back to the underworld real quick. That's a good way for us, too, to get those legendary ingots that I was talking about. It's a really good way to get some glory, souls, and class XP. Lots of good stuff that we can do down there in the underworld. So I'm looking forward to getting that far, but it's gonna be it's gonna be like another 20 episodes, unfortunately, just because it takes anywhere from like 40 minutes to an hour to unlock each one of these quest lines. Oh no, we got 3 of these jumble aboard maniacs. And we're fighting against Keeper of Souls. Keeper of Souls is a really great legendary troop that transforms all gems of a chosen color to skulls. So it's like a mana converter, but it doesn't convert into mana, it converts into skulls, which can be really powerful because it can give you an extra turn based on getting a 4 match of skulls, and it can do a lot of damage, especially with a weapon like Mang. There we go. We'll do that to get some more souls. We can do that to get some more souls, and then we'll finish them off. 63 souls. Alright. So the Khetar quest line is now finished. We got Alabastar, or Alastar, for our troop here. Remove all purple gems. Give 3 armor to all allies boosted by gems. Removed. Gain barrier. Interesting troop, but I don't like remove all gems. I'd rather have it destroy all gems. Because it'll remove the gems from the board with no effect. You won't be gaining any mana from that. So destroying is way better than removing. So yeah, that's something to consider. And we have the Necromancer class here for the Khetar Kingdom. So we're going to go ahead and do our 4 battles and unlock that. Try to make sure we get all of our 4 matches so the enemy doesn't get extra mana. And if we can get Valkyrie up, then we can transform. But if we can't, we'll just try to match whatever we can. Behemoth. Just destroyed that entire team. 3 more battles to go. Excuse me. Alright, let's see. We got some red we can convert. Yeah, I guess we could do that and then see what happens here. I guess we're going to have to go red and get everything full there so we can do some damage. Bone Dragon down there. This guy is pretty powerful too. So I'm going to try to focus in on him if I can. And we're going to do that with our white. Oops. Clicked too fast there. It's alright. We got him up again. We got a skull match there. Might as well take it. But now, yeah, we can go ahead and target down there and get him. Skull damage. And might as well convert here with Valkyrie so we can get some more souls. And finish that out with white. Bam. We got our total of 40 souls. And it turns out to be 66 because we're getting a 50% bonus on souls from our dragon armor. Convert that. And yeah, we can do this. Get rid of that Banshee that was gonna... Yeah, we'll do some white on white damage here. Yeah, these whites are dangerous because they steal life. One more to go, and then we'll take a quick look at the Necromancer class, and that will conclude this episode 12. Another jumble guy. Come on. Well, thanks for giving me a 4-match, buddy. Not even gonna take a skull match? Yeah, unfortunately, we have our Keeper of Souls guy over there all full and ready to go. Probably going to destroy my behemoth. And unfortunately, it has a 50% chance to summon a white when an enemy dies. I forgot about that. That is pretty annoying. Because now I gotta go ahead and fight this early guy before I can even get down to the other guy. And then he's gonna cast. And then, you know, things are gonna get ugly. But fortunately, we were able to get him there before he killed another enemy. We leveled up once again, and Fire Mastery is now going to be 23. So I just have to get my Brown Mastery up one more, and then I should have Mountain Crusher. Unless I'm wrong about it being 23 for both of them. So yeah, we got Necromancer troop now. Let's go ahead and check that troop out. Necromancer, here he is. Necromancer, customize, and traits. So traits aren't really anything special at all. It's one of the few classes that I don't really even recommend trying to trade it. Gain an extra soul on 4 or 5 gem matches. It's not really gonna help you as much as you think it will. Because it's only 1 soul. I don't think it's worth farming 16 trait stones for it. You know, you're going to be able to get enough souls with White, Banshee, Valkyrie, those types of troops. But as far as its talents here, nothing super amazing in the first one. You can get 1 or 2 extra magic at level 1 for scythe weapons. All purple allies gain 2 armor. The shadow scales might be kind of interesting early on in the game if you want to build a complete Naga team, because all Nagas will gain 1 armor every turn. Mage Lord gain 2 magic if in the last position. And you also at level 10 have Soul Caller if you want to gain 1 soul every turn. And then there's reduced damage from spells by 20%. Anti-magic sphere. That's pretty good. Level 20 you can have the option of starting a Ice Storm or a Dark Storm at the start of the battle. That'll last 8 turns before it disappears. And then you have Mana Source at level 20 as well, which starting battles at 50% mana is pretty good, especially if you have a weapon like Mang and you want to get it powered up quicker, or Mountain Crusher. Level 40, we have Stealthy, which is pretty good. Cannot be targeted by spells unless there are no other targets. Now, in this is only single spells. If there are enemy troops that does damage to, let's say, the first 2 enemies or the last 2 enemies, or if it does damage to all enemies, the Stealthy will not avoid that. It only avoids targeted spell damage, which is single spells. So that's interesting there. Swift Curse, Death Mark a random enemy at the start of battle. Poison enemies when matching purple gems, or you can gain bonus to purple. And then finally at level 100, you have a couple of ones down here. The best one is Rising Shadows. You have a 7% chance to assassinate the last enemy when another enemy dies. So Necromancer class is really not that bad, especially early game. I still think that Titan or Plague Lord or Sentinel, one of those classes that has the rock solid talent, is going to be really important for high level battles with Mang. So if you want to level like a secondary class, Necromancer might not be a bad one to go for early game, because you're going to get, especially if you're doing a Naga team there, where you can get 1 armor for every troop there every single turn. And then you have things like the 20% reduction damage by spells, and you can start battles by 50%. Stealthy, and finally way down here, if you do want to level it to 100, which is really takes way too long. But Rising Shadows is pretty powerful. So overall, not a bad class. The traits, though, just I don't think these traits are worth the stones. So there you have it, guys. That's pretty much my thoughts on Necromancer class, and we completed the Khetar quest line. So this is the end of episode 12. Next time we will be doing Dragon's Claw in episode 13. So hopefully you found this video to be entertaining and informative and helped you out. Maybe if you're a new player, and that's really the goal of this series, is for me to go through and play through from the very beginning, unlocking all these kingdoms and starting with low-level troops to try to help out new players. So if you're a new player, welcome to Gems of War, the game that is really fun and addictive, but it takes a lot of learning to figure out what to do and what troops to level, which ones go together well, and there's so much to learn in this game. Keeps you busy. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Later.